and Pierce.
Good afternoon. Ned and Pierce with you for your Saturday afternoon.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. Since our last show, I guess not a lot has happened, so we don't have that much to talk about.
We don't actually. Yeah, I thought I was just going to piggyback on whatever you said.
It's been a pretty uneventful week for most. I guess for us, it has really been kicking off at school.
Heads down and getting on to the work that we've got to do.
Yeah, you know, year 12, it's really
sucky.
I know. And they really waited until halfway, term 2 to really start kicking off.
Yeah, it seems to be the case with all of our assessments just coming in for one big cluster.
Yeah, they decided to cram them all back into week 5. Why couldn't they have them throughout the whole term?
That'd be because that would be nice.
That would be nice, and they just can't do that.
No, that's the QCAA we're talking about. They don't like us. They don't like children.
Yeah, of course. But apart from that, we don't have a lot to talk about in this intro, so let's just kick off with our first song, I guess.
Yeah, well, what do we got coming up today?
We've got Ned's Odd Occurrence, Ned and Pierce's Odd News. We've got another...
What did Pierce steal from Ned's room?
And plenty of other things coming up.
You thought I'd done something to you during the week as well.
Well, make sure you stick around for that. I accuse Pierce of something that he seems to be clueless about.
Yeah, but you said it was something I might have done, so
maybe
it would probably make me laugh.
I'd say so.
Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. Anyway, this is Alice Cooper. Poison on Rose City FM 89.3. More music variety on the Southern Downs.
Welcome back to another edition of Ned and Pierce's Odd News from around the globe. I'm your host, Ned.
And I'm your host, Pierce.
Tonight, a 4-year-old has brought 918 SpongeBob icy poles on Amazon for $2,600 worth of his parents' hard-earned dough. Amazon originally told the mother they would not accept a return for the treats, but she has since been reimbursed, narrowly escaping a very sticky situation.
Money well spent.
Exactly.
Ned, hundreds have lined up at an abandoned gas station in California to witness the exciting event of a rare flower blooming. The plant, which only blooms once every several years, is known as the corpse flower due to the pungent odour it releases while blooming. Solomon Laver, the gardener responsible for the flower, says that everyone's tripping out that they can walk up to it, wiggle it, and smell it. A lot of fun for everybody. That's right, Solomon. It sure does sound like a lot of fun. The only thing that I can think of that's more fun than that is watching paint dry.
A giant naked man. Hold on, I don't know if my mic's... There we go. Sorry. A giant naked man drawing has left scientists baffled as to its origin. The carving, located on a hill above a town in Dorset, England, is nearly a football field in length and has been there for an unknown amount of time. This sounds like it'll be giving these scientists a very hard time.
We're remaining in Europe for this one. So a Belgian farmer has made France smaller by accident when he simply moved a rock that was disrupting the path of his tractor. Turned out the rock was actually a marker that served as a divider for France and Belgium. Moving the stone a measly 2 meters was just enough to make France smaller and Belgium larger.
And a teenager named Siri has asked Apple CEO Tim Cook for a free laptop after years of being the butt of jokes. This caused many teenagers, funnily enough, named Alexa to join in the campaign in support.
And after 4 long years of emotional pain and suffering, a British parrot owner was finally reunited with his pet parrot, Nigel. However, when Nigel returned from where he was, there was one major difference. Nigel now speaks Spanish. Baffled and confused, Nigel's owner will never know where he was or where he learnt to speak Spanish. Spanish, not Spanish. Reportedly, along with the new language, Nigel will now only eat spicy food and has been seen performing the tango late at night.
That's all for today's edition of Ned and Pierce's Odd News from around the globe. Make sure to stay tuned to our show. We've got plenty of great stuff coming up, including within the next 20 minutes, I accuse Pierce of something he may not have even done. All that and more coming up. Up next, it's AC/DC with Highway to Hell. Bad to the Bone. George Thorogood and the Destroyers.
What a narcissistic sog.
I know.
You know, he just walks around telling everyone how bad to the bone he is.
I know, and it goes for so long as well. But, Pierce, I have been hyping up for the last 40 or so minutes that I do have an accusation for you.
And not just for the 40 or so minutes, since yesterday.
This is something very new, because usually you're the one accusing me of things and picking bones with me.
Yeah.
So this is I'm in a new seat here. But Pierce, so basically, I was at work Thursday, right?
Yep.
And at the place we work, you know, we field calls occasionally, phone calls, and I picked up one just as we were about to close, and I was saying, oh, great, someone calling in just as we're closing. You know how annoying that is. And it was actually a very interesting call. You know, it was what you would call a prank call. Yeah. Get a couple of those. But this one was different, because this one was a pre-recorded message on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it played out a pre-recorded message that I think was...
It's not one of the scam phone calls, was it?
I think it was set up so that basically when you responded with something, it would respond with something back.
Really?
But it wasn't a scam. It wasn't trying to sell me anything. It was telling me that I had flipped someone's mother off and called her mean words. And then it was like, right, let's settle this here right now, buddy. Where are you so I can come?
You might be on someone's radio program.
Maybe. That's what I thought. I thought maybe my voice would appear on someone's YouTube video.
Because you thought it was me.
I did.
For content for today.
So this was not you.
It wasn't me. It also seems a little too thought out for me. Like, there was pre-recorded messages for the responses that you were going to give.
So it's a pre-recorded message, and it was an Australian guy, and he was very angry because I'd flipped his mother off. And I didn't actually hear the first half of the phone call, because the person I was working with had come over and answered the phone first. And she called me over and was like, here, listen to this. And so I hear him. He's like, don't lie. Don't play games with me, mister. You flipped my mother off.
You know, what are the odds of you actually flipping someone's mother off? Have you done that recently?
No, I have not done that recently.
I don't know. You're a bit of a dick.
But yeah, so I hung up the phone and I thought, this has Pierce written all over it. But
it wasn't me, I promise.
It wasn't you. Now, the other weird thing is, I looked into this and I actually found a website where you can send these prank phone calls to people and you can get like the recordings of them back. The thing is, though, I searched for possibly an hour and I found no recording of the phone call that we had.
Right.
So the phone call that we had, I found absolutely no record that it had ever existed.
Possibly some really elaborate prank that someone's thought up.
It could be, because I searched on most corners of the internet. You know how I am with computers. I'm pretty good with computers. Yeah. So I searched on pretty much everywhere. Yeah. And I could not find any prank phone calls you could send of pre-recorded Australian guys telling someone that you'd flipped their mother off.
Are you sure you haven't flipped someone's mother off?
No, I'm sure. And I was... It's just so weird, because I thought there would be some record of it somewhere.
But there's not.
Now that I know it's not you, I'm sorry for accusing you, first of all.
No, it's okay.
But second of all...
It is sort of something I would do.
Second of all, we've got a weapon now that we can use on other people.
Pre-recorded messages.
These pre-recorded messages, because I found a pretty good website that has a couple of good ones. I reckon we can send to some of our mates.
It actually sounds like like a better prank call than you'd get most times here at our work.
It does, yeah. No, it was very well thought out. The only other prank call I've fielded was two 5-year-olds asking for the KFC box.
I had someone ask for Pizza Hut once.
I know, it's ridiculous.
This is Ned and Pierce.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hottest radio game show. I'm your host, Pierce. Now, my buddy Ned has a very messy room, so I want to know, does he actually have any idea of what's in there? Probably not. The rules are simple. I take one item from Ned's room, and with the occasional hint from me, Ned gets 3 guesses to figure out what that item is, and if he doesn't, well, it's mine. So without further ado, it's time to find out what did Pierce steal from Ned's room?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the game show that allows me to steal things directly from Ned's room.
Yes, I've already lost my razor and my prized Kim Jong-un mask.
What will you lose
show.
this week? Because there's no doubt you can get it.
Okay.
I think I might need to change that intro as well, because we definitely weren't playing by the rules that I stated in that intro last week. Yeah. So that was a bit of a mistake on my behalf. It's also not grammatically correct.
That's fine, Pierce.
In the lead up. Yeah, never mind.
It's very nice and jazzy, and I like that.
It's jazzy and it's cool. Yes. Alright, so 3 hints.
3 hints?
3 guesses, okay?
Alright, can we start with the first hint?
First hint, Ned. It's very pointy.
It's very pointy.
Oh, it's just pointy.
It is pointy,
Yep.
okay. I'm trying to remember whether I have any knives currently on my shelf. Can I have another hint, please?
Alright, it's very, very cool.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a pocket knife? Because I think I do have a pocket knife.
No, that answer is incorrect.
So it's very cool. It's pointy.
Yep.
I don't know.
Would you like another hint?
I would love another hint, thank you.
Alright, so knowing Elon Musk and who he is, he probably owned one of these as a child, just because he had a special connection to them.
I'm thinking through. I've been taking looks at my shelf over the last 2 weeks to try and memorize some of the things.
Yeah.
And I know I've got a collection of pens on one shelf.
Yeah.
And on that shelf, I have a pen shaped like a rocket. And Elon Musk does rocket stuff. Is it a rocket pen, Pierce?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a rocket pen.
Yes!
This is the first one that you've actually won.
Oh, the third time's a charm.
I didn't think I wanted this.
No.
I genuinely wanted this.
It is a cool rocket pen.
I was going to bring it to school and then tease you.
Too bad, Pierce. The rocket pen is mine. Ow! Well, that was way quicker than the other ones.
I'm so sorry. I didn't actually mean to throw it at your head. I wanted to throw it in a direction that would make it an audible noise, but it wasn't supposed to be your head. I'm so sorry.
That's okay, Pierce.
Alright.
I'm sure it would have made funny content anyway.
Alright, that's it for What Did Pierce Steal from Ned's Room. What am I going to steal next week? I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
This is Ned and Pierce.
That was scary.
Ned's odd occurrences from around the world.
I smell a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Welcome back, one and all, to Ned's Odd Occurrence from around the globe. Now, it's been a pretty long and hard week at school, Pierce.
You didn't get anything, did you?
No, that's
Okay.
why today we've got no disappearances, no deaths, nothing of the sort.
And no content whatsoever.
More of a subdued mystery.
Alright.
Today we look at...
What do you mean by subdued?
It's, you'll see.
Okay.
Today we look at...
Because I don't know what the definition of subdued is.
Okay, Pierce, shut up and listen to the story. Today we look at the Oakville rain incident. On August 7th, 1994, in the small town of Oakville in Washington, USA, one of the strangest environmental mysteries ever occurred. A downpour of gelatinous blobs took place in the early morning. The blobs were small and bouncy, measuring only a few millimeters across in size. Not only is it weird for small blobs of jelly to rain from the sky, what's even weirder is that everyone that came into contact with them became violently ill. What?
I don't know how well you've managed to talk in an ominous tone about small and bouncy blobs.
Yeah, I know it's not the most ominous story that we've had on the show, Pierce, but you know, it's a calmer mystery for a calmer weekend.
Okay.
Almost everyone in the town that came into contact with the blobs came down with flu-like... Shut up! How are you making me laugh? I can't focus on the story if I'm... Came down with flu-like symptoms that lasted for an average of 4 to 8 weeks. And one resident was hospitalised for months. This was very unusual for this kind of flu to last this long. Naturally, this brought up the question, where did these blobs come from? And was there any human involvement? What is it now, Pierce?
I'm sorry, just continue.
Tests were run on the blobs, in which they found several weird observations. Firstly, a human white blood cell was found, which wouldn't make sense for something that occurred naturally. A cell with a nucleus was also found, indicating that it might have been man-made. 2 chemicals often used to kill plants were also found. These findings led many people to believe that these blobs were man-made. I can't see what you find so funny about these blobs, Pierce.
So every time you say the word blob, it just really shows.
Pierce, it's a more subdued mystery for what will hopefully be a calmer weekend. Anyway, we are left with several questions. Where did these blobs come from? Lips shut, Pierce. I'll turn your mic off in a sec. Where did these blobs come from? Why were they made? Someone out there most likely knows the answer. We may never know what happened in Oakville, and unless someone comes forward with new evidence, we never will.
Radio like you've never heard it before. In fact, this is worse than you've ever heard it before. This is Ned and Pierce.
So Ned, you have started going to the gym.
You didn't turn my microphone on.
No. Sorry, I turned the other mic on.
Yes, I have been going to the gym, Pierce.
Yes, and I think I know the reason why. It was suspiciously pretty recently after I won a arm wrestling competition against you.
Yes.
Does that have anything to do with that?
I can tell you right now that my decision to go to the gym is definitely not to beat you in an arm wrestle, although it might be
a cheeky side benefit.
Included side bonus.
No, I think you're lying. I think I'm the sole purpose of you going to the gym and trying to improve your muscle mass and beating me in an arm wrestle. Yeah.
Well, it would definitely be nice to be able to win an arm wrestle, but I don't want to take that self-validation away from you, Pierce.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Also, yesterday, I kind of did drop you on your bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, when you whipped a plastic pirate sword against me and asked me to disarm you.
Yes, that was very mean, Pierce.
In which I replied by taking my jacket off and sort of wrapping my jacket around your hand and defeating you.
Okay, I get it. You're trying to come off as cool to the great radio people listening at home.
But it's kind of true.
Well, to end this segment off on kind of a nice, light-hearted way, to anyone out there who's looking to start going to the gym, the first step is always the hardest.
The first step is getting beaten by a friend of yours.
Yes, the first step is getting beaten by a friend of yours and realising that the first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, you will be thankful for it. You will thank yourself.
There's no shame, Ned. Don't worry.
There's no shame.
This is Ned and Pierce.
Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of our show.
And for the first time in history of What Did Pierce Steal from Ned's room in the past 3 shows that we've done, Ned has actually figured out what I stole from Ned's room. The rocket ship pen. And from Ned's Odd Occurrence, I still find gelatinous blobs funny.
Yes, they are a little funny now that I look back at it.
And finally, I am still stronger than Ned. And I don't think you'll ever be stronger than me.
Debatable. If you don't want to finish your Ned and Pierce listening experience, the first 2 episodes of our podcast are available wherever you can find podcasts. It's been hard work with Year 12, but we are planning on having at least 6 episodes done by the end of the year, so make sure to stay up to date and stay tuned.
The Department of Shenanigans and Tomfoolery.
And to finish off our show, as always, it's Rock Lobster. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Ned and Pierce.